It is your favorite brown girl, the green hair. Or some of you may know me by Nazhi the Baker. Child, we will be making these delicious, chewy, yet but cakey brownies. So go ahead and grab your apron, grab your husband, grab your wife, your kid, your Mima, or you can even grab a friend or a family member. So if you would love to see how to make these delicious brownies, make sure you guys keep on watching. Alrighty everyone, so our first step that we are going to take for today's recipe is to get your chopped butter, and the type of butter that I am using today is plant-based if you guys were wondering. And then I also went ahead and got some semi-sweet organic chocolate, and I just chopped it up but not too fine. And of course, as you guys can see, I have leftover chocolate, and I cannot leave that inside the bowl because that is a lot of goodness. So once you are finished doing that, go ahead and put your butter and chocolate mixture into the microwave and heat that up for 30 seconds. Okay you all, so my butter and chocolate mixture is finished melting, and I also have my handy dandy spatula, and right now I'm just going to mix up my butter and chocolate until it's nice and smooth. Go ahead and add your sugar. For this recipe, it calls for 1 cup of sugar, but I only wanted to add 3/4 cup just because I felt like it didn't need as much, but you can go ahead and add 1 cup or 3/4 cup. It's really your choice. And right now I'm just going to scrape off my spatula, and today for this recipe we are going to use our whisk just because it's much easier. And go and mix your chocolate mixture for about 1 minute approximately until it's runny like a meringue. Now you can go ahead and add your vanilla, and by mixing your batter for approximately around 1 minute, it'll give you that soft tissue crust on top that everyone loves. Okie dokie, so now it is time to add your eggs. I actually decided to add 2 whole eggs and 1 egg yolk because I really wanted to get that cakey and chewy texture that we all love. But if you want regular brownies, you can go ahead and add 2 large eggs. For this part, make sure you all are mixing your batter for 1 minute once again so we can get that soft tissue crust. And when I tell you all, my hand was getting extremely tired. Like, honey, why do I have to mix this long? A minute felt like hours, but it's worth it because we really want to get that very pretty tissue look. Like I always say, it may sound crazy just by saying tissue, but that's how it looks. It is time to add your dry ingredients. So right here I have 3/4 cup of organic all-purpose flour, and of course I'm going to get all of that leftover flour that was inside my bowl. And then I am going to go in with 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. I don't want too much cocoa powder because we don't want our brownies to dry out, and we still just want that cocoa taste inside of the brownies. So I am going to also add my salt and then go ahead and mix them all together. It actually took me a little minute to get my brownies to look very nice and presentable because, as you guys can see if you watch any of my old YouTube videos, my brownies did not look very tasty, but it actually tasted good. But now it took me a little minute to basically put ingredients together to find the right recipe. So when I tell you all that I am super excited, and trust me, you will be too when you try this recipe. So let's talk about butter right quick while we are making our delicious brownies. For this specific recipe, I went ahead and used plant-based butter because then it's way healthier and it's my favorite butter. Of course, my family loves plant-based butter also, but if you are using regular butter, of course your brownie mixture is going to be a little bit more runnier, but that is okay. It'll still come out the same way, but if you're using a butter that's plant-based, it may come out a little bit thicker, just to warn you ahead of time. So don't get too scared. So the next step is to add your chocolate chips. It's optional if you don't want too much chocolate, but of course I had to be a little extra. So I went ahead and add about a half a cup of chocolate chips. You can do a little bit more or none. It's really up to you. And just make sure that you fold that in. Try not to over mix your batter or over fold it because your brownies can come out dumb. And then I also wanted to add walnuts at the end. I didn't put it in the video because then I forgot last minute, not thinking, so I went ahead and added my walnuts. Make sure you add some parchment paper to your brownie pan, just so it doesn't stick to the pan or you don't have any problems trying to take it out. This makes it way easier to cut and also take out of the pan. So now I'm just going to get all of that delicious brownie batter out of my bowl, and then I'm gonna just add it to my pan, of course. As you can see, like I was telling you earlier, since I use plant-based butter, my brownie batter is a little bit more thicker, but that is fine. So I went ahead and got my miniature spatula just so I can be able to spread that out a little bit easier. And even if you don't have a spatula, you can go ahead and use a spoon or your mixing spatula that you have on hand. Yes, it is finally time to go ahead and push your brownie inside of the oven so it can bake. Go ahead and bake that on 350 for 30 minutes and try not to overbake. Okay, honey, now let me tell you how satisfied I was with the finishing touches. Yes! Now, when you take your brownie from out of your oven, let it cool completely for about 15 minutes. I know you are extremely excited to go ahead and eat these bad boys, but it is not time yet because of course we have to go ahead and cut them. Today I'm using my favorite knife that my brother, aka my birthday twin DJ, he got me this beautiful knife set and I really appreciate it, and I love you, DJ, if you're watching this video. So make sure that you cut those brownies in nice sizes, of course, so we can take pictures. Yes. And if you ever try this recipe, make sure that you tag me to it on Instagram or any of my social media handlers, and they will be down below in the description box. Mwah. I had so much fun making these brownies with you, and I hope you did too. If you would love to see more of my baking recipes, make sure that you stay tuned on my YouTube channel. And even if you have any baking recipe ideas, comment down below, and soon I will be shouting people out. And I love you tons by the boatload. Don't forget to stay calm, keep healthy, and stay safe. Peace.